Ultimate MK Podquest.
The energy we're bringing into this episode is just going to be chaos.
Much like this episode.
I didn't think this episode felt like chaos.
Really? When everyone's shape-shifting and everyone is somebody else who they aren't?
No, it's just fucking stupid. And it's like, I don't understand why Shang did that.
Oh, I can explain
Like,
it to you.
No. Like, I get materially why, in the sense that I know that it's set up that it looked like Quan Chi betrayed him. Like, I understand the plot. But beyond that, he makes some reference to some other shit that he wants to do down there, and I have no earthly fucking idea what he's talking about.
That's because he doesn't stay. He just leaves. Oh, no, I
know.
You're right. Yeah, I know
What
exactly
the
what you're
fuck?
saying. He has other enemies to attend
But,
to.
like, what could
then he
that
just goes
possibly mean?
Yeah.
All of his enemies have been addressed this episode.
This episode sucked.
Are we starting yet? Is that how we're starting?
It might be. This one was
No,
yeah.
but now are we actually starting? Like, I can't tell.
Sure, yeah. Let's just
Like, is this the episode? Are we in the episode now?
Can you deliver something for me that I can cut out and make a sound bite out of?
Yeah.
Can I get a classic Corey? Let's just get right into it, so that I don't have to search
So
through
you can
old
just
episodes to
start.
cut one out.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try to make sure it's good. Do you want, like, one of the really fucking stupid ones?
Yes.
Like, so I yell "let's" for a really long time?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, is that what you mean? Like,
Yeah.
What do we want here? Is that what we're looking for?
I think I think give me three takes.
Okay. I'll start with a casual one.
Sure.
Let's just jump right into it. So that's the casual one.
Okay. Cool.
Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, I like that one.
And then I'm going to... Okay. Let's just jump right into it.
See, that one cut out for me. I missed the middle part.
Too loud.
Better do another one for safety.
Are you fucking with me?
No, it really cut out on me.
People are in this house. People
I'll
will hear me yelling.
All right, we'll see. It probably came through fine. It's all right.
Let's just jump right into it.
It really is cutting off because of the sound level.
Yeah, it's because it's too loud.
Right.
It's coming through on my end. You can't hear it because Discord doesn't like loud.
Gotcha.
Anyway, one of those is fine.
And that's going to be a fun treat for the audience because one of those you will have already heard last week's episode. Because I'm going to.
Oh, is that what you're doing with it? That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love just showing our ass, like showing the behind the scenes. I love that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, fuck this episode.
Not a great one. Do we want to just get right into the Corey corner for a quick rundown?
Yeah, man, hell if I know. I watched this 4 hours ago ish.
Sure.
I already feel like I could care less. I already kind of forget. This should go fine, but you know what I mean.
I watched it 1 hour ago.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
Like I finished watching it and I was like,
Did you
okay.
say you needed 10 minutes because there were 10 minutes left in the episode?
No, I needed to do something else for 10 minutes before I started talking about it. I just needed to like
drink heavily.
Yeah, and well, not heavily. I needed a break.
Yeah, I think we all do. Anyway, yeah, do you want to go to the Corey corner? We can do that.
Yes, let's just jump right into it.
The least honestly, that's one of the funniest let's just jump right into it we've ever done. Welcome to the Corey corner. Anyway, so this episode is about deception. That feels like a fair statement.
Mortal Kombat deception?
Inherently so, because it's on the Mortal Kombat show.
Decidedly worse than the game Mortal Kombat Deception.
Which I feel like is saying something.
Hey, that's a fan favorite.
Fans are wrong all the time.
Oh my god.
Honest statement. I don't think I've ever played it.
Okay. Continue.
I genuinely don't remember how this started. Give me a sec. Do not help me.
Okay.
Quan Chi is summoned by Shao Kahn because Shao Kahn's having the worst time and he's surrounded by traitors and he hates it. He's having a bad day and he's like, hey, do you want to go kill Shang Tsung for me? Quan Chi's like, how much are you going to pay me? He's like, I don't know, enough. I have a sticking point immediately that I want to get out of the way.
Sure.
He says later when he betrays... No. Actually, wait. No.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung said that.
There are layers to this episode, man.
Well, because Shang Tsung says Kriya's offer was more, and it's like the offer couldn't have been more because what Shao Kahn said was, I'll pay you anything you want.
Right.
So the offer couldn't have been more than anything. That's nothing. Anyway, Shao Kahn makes a deal with Quan Chi to kill Shang Tsung, who was gallivanting around Earthrealm, sucking out souls, trying to gain power, and killing people. Kung Lao, who as of late has been in a deeply repressed murderous rampage, really, 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 really wants to kill that man. And Raiden is like, I don't know, man, it's not going to be as easy as just triangulating his location and killing him. What about the rules of Mortal Kombat? And Kung Lao is like, well, those may or may not apply, old man.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. And Raiden is like, well, the rules, it's real Narc Zone Raiden today.
Sure.
And meanwhile, the show is adamant on building up some kind of sexual tension between Zero and Taja, which frankly I do not want.
Nobody's here for that.
And
least of all Kung Lao.
They sure ratchet that up to 1,000,000 when blah, blah, blah stuff happens. Quan Chi really just wants to get Shang, and he's like, how can I find Shang with the least effort possible? I know. What if I and my murderous friends capture Zero and Taja, disguise ourselves as them with shape-shifting powers, hide out at the trading post, wait for Shang Tsung to come to us because he wants to kill Kung Lao, throw off Kung Lao by having wild, rowdy sex and just giving fuck-me eyes to each other all the time and talking like some weird dudes. And then we'll be able to fight and kill Shang Tsung while we don't have to worry about anything else happening. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung is like, people are trying to come get me. Quan Chi is teamed up with Shao Kahn. Fuck that. What if I pretended I was Sora? I think.
Yeah. Yes. Master
what
of
if
the
I
Keyblade.
pretended I was Sora, Master of the Keyblade, and went to Shao Kahn and said, Mickey Mouse.
Hey, Shao Kahn. First of all, Kingdom Hearts is light. Second of all,
do you think the light will be the darkness? No, I think the darkness will beat the light. Go watch ProZT's Kingdom Hearts video.
Go listen to our first Mythologies episode where we go deep on Kingdom Hearts.
And he goes, surprise, it's actually Quan Chi, and I'm trying to kill you. Surprise, it's actually Shang Tsung, and I'm leaving now. Bye-bye. And then they fight each other and nothing happens. And then all the sexual tension is fizzled out mostly when Kung Lao realizes that his friends were not in fact having sex.
Mostly.
The end.
Yeah.
It's setting up a lot of pieces that I think, with only 3 episodes to go, very clearly will not entirely get paid off ever.
Yeah.
I was getting a drink, but I mean, if we have nothing else to say, we could probably call it.
No, we got to record more than that. We recorded for 24 minutes now. 20 of that was about...
is garbage.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the Neil Nook?
Yeah, let's hop over to the Neil Nook. This will be a brief one. Welcome to the Neil Nook.
It's Gucci.
No new characters this week. This episode was directed by Charles Siebert, written by Steve Hatman and Sean Catherine Derrick. We know all about them. We've got Adani Meropis back as Quan Chi. We've got all 3 of Quan Chi's ladies back. We've got Renee Tennyson as Sora. We've got Jamie Presley back as Mika. And we've got Dana He back as Cian. We're going to see Cian and Quan Chi one more time before the series is over, but this is it for Sora and Mika. This is the last episode of the series that they will be in. So, yeah. Farewell, ladies. It's been a good run.
Yeah, it's been real. Come on the show. Open invitation to anybody who ever did anything on this show, honestly.
Yep, please. We need content.
The catch is none of you are listening, but if we can find a way to get you to listen, then maybe we can get you on the show.
Paolo Montalban, you've been...
That would be... I mean, do you think maybe he's going to end up doing press now that the 1997 Cinderella movie is on Disney Plus, and maybe we could get him for that?
He was part of like a cast live tweeting of it a couple days ago.
Sounds like we have a chance.
Yeah, I think we do. I liked a few of the tweets from the MK Podquest account, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's the long con. We're going to get him just in time to finish watching Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Fingers crossed.
Hey, man, do you want to watch a movie you weren't in?
Dude, wouldn't that kind of be sweet, though?
I don't know if he was down. What if we just get him on and we talk about his music career?
I would love it, honestly. Just talk about Cinderella.
I feel like we're talking about a lot of shit that isn't this episode of television. I think we should rip this Band-Aid off.
All right, let's do it.
I feel like we're being a little bit dramatic only because in the course of watching the episode, I didn't hate it with rage.
Yeah.
It just made me uncomfortable.
There's cool stuff that happens in the episode. It just happens in such a weird way.
I just don't think it's very what's the word? Good. I don't think it's very good.
Let's talk about something good to kick things off.
Surprise me.
That establishing shot of Shao Kahn's palace, tower, whatever you call it, there's 2 moons in the background.
Diverged in a yellow wood.
It looks dope as fuck. That's all.
Had we not seen that one before?
No, we have. I just don't think I've ever concentrated on how much I like it. It's dope.
I didn't notice right away that I've been scrolling through my Bram Stoker's Dracula notes.
You want to just talk about Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Kind of, but I got to do that again tomorrow.
Okay. This will be like a test run. Give us a preview of your Bram Stoker's Dracula notes real quick. If you got
just pick a random one. I just scrolled down randomly to the middle.
Yeah.
Terrible crying beast Dracula Candleman. That fucking owns.
There we have it.
Costuming off the charts.
Subscribe to They Made Another One in your podcast app to get the full scoop on what Corey thought of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Jonathan, that's the Antichrist sex bed. Okay, that's all we'll do with that.
That's a good way to leave it. All right. So from this good-looking establishing shot of Shao Kahn's palace that we've seen several times before.
It looks fine.
Look, you're bitter about the episode. I get it. I'm trying to find.
Man,
I'm trying to find the good. It has nothing on Quan Chi's palace establishing shot that I think we see for the first time. That has a big giant yin yang on the outside.
Yeah, why, man?
So Quan Chi is hanging out with Quan Chi's hanging out with Shao
Dude,
Kahn.
I love Shang Fuck. He's my favorite.
And Shao Kahn's like, hey, go kill Shang Tsung. And Quan Chi's like, okay, I will. What do I get if I do it? And Shao Kahn is like, I'll give you whatever you want. And to your point earlier, when you said, how could Kriya's deal be better when Shao Kahn says he'll give him whatever he wants? There's one thing that Shao Kahn can't give Quan Chi, which is
a hive.
Shao Kahn's job, right?
Yeah.
Feasibly.
I don't feel like he's gunning for that.
Well, I think he wants power and shit like that. So I think feasibly you could offer him hey, side with Kriya, you don't have to deal with Shao Kahn.
Yeah, but if you side with Shao Kahn and win, you could get half of what it sounds like dozens of realms.
Sure, yeah. Anyway, whatever. We cut to Earthrealm. We cut to the forest, and there's a man riding a horse, and Shang Tsung walks up to him.
What he does is pull a Vorpax.
He's acting all weak and he needs help, and the guy's like, "Get the fuck out of here, beggar!" And Shang Tsung is like, "Psych!" and sucks his soul out through his leg. And then he tries to open a portal, but it seems like the portal doesn't open too well. And he's like, soon. He's just trying to get his strength back by eating souls, which is cool, right? Can we talk about how Zero just got back from a bad date, apparently?
So here's problem number 1.
Yeah.
I'm willing to concede that there's no big problems until this scene. What this is doing on its face is totally fine. Zero had a bad date, and he's like, I'm sick of all these bad dates. Boy, howdy, I hate women. Women are just the worst. Nobody clip that out of context, please. So he's like, man, I'm going to try to find the right one for me. I need to find someone who loves me for who I am and doesn't want me to cut my hair or take my elbows off the table or whatever the fuck he's complaining about.
Yeah, basically that shit.
And he's like, Taja, you get it. You don't just go out with any dudes. You're selective and you get it. And she's like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Evidently she doesn't think that she's that, but
well,
whatever.
actually what happened was her last boyfriend got murdered And maybe she hasn't
I mean, that
moved.
doesn't make her not those things.
But
Whatever.
as of last
doesn't
week,
matter.
she clearly
It doesn't
hasn't
matter.
moved on yet.
It doesn't matter. How Taja actually feels about that comment does not matter. Because what Ciro says is like, somebody like you would be good. And then they're like, huh? And he's like, well, not literally you, man. And she's like, yeah, not literally me. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
So they're sowing the seeds of tension.
Yeah.
And then later, I'm gonna say this now because it's relevant to the point I'm trying to make.
Sure.
They go to Shang Tsung's area, which they literally call that. Kung Lao says he's in the same area. It's Shang Tsung's area.
It's Shang Tsung's new area.
Area. And they go find a bunch of shit. She almost gets hit by a big trap.
Yeah, she gets. It's like an Ewok style Return of the Jedi trap.
It doesn't matter what the trap is because Ciro tackles her out of the way, and they end up on top of each other, and they just sort of start like giving each other kind of fuck me eyes, and like
Sure.
just talking kind of lovingly in like a nice way, like, wow, thanks for like saving my life, bro. Do you want to go do it? And they're like, bro, hell yeah, bro. Actually, now we're fine. So that's all set up seemingly exclusively to do the shape-shifting bit later. And
yeah, it's done to throw the audience off for 5 minutes.
It doesn't even take 5 minutes because they're not talking normally. But my point, the thing I'm trying to complain about here is if it requires that much setup that goes kind of against the way you've set characters out up to this point to do a bit that you want to do a different bit.
Yeah.
Just do something else.
Yeah.
And I really, 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 really do not like, as just a viewer, watching the scenes where we are getting like alternate reality Ciro and Taja who are shapeshifted.
There was so many noises.
There's just something I just didn't like it. I don't need to always have a nuanced explanation for everything. I really don't like it.
I can tell you why I didn't like it. There were too many noises.
I wasn't even that worried about the noises. There's a lot of noises and it's touchy and weird, but like this show makes a lot of noise that's touchy and weird all the time. I genuinely just did not enjoy seeing characters that I like not be themselves in a way that I just sat uncomfortably with me. I just don't like it. And like a lot of this episode's bit is just that.
Yeah. Now that we've talked about it, we don't have to go in depth.
I had to talk about it now. There was only one way I could explain why they were even doing that in the first place.
Let's catch up to this moment where Ciro saves her from this trap. We're seeing Kung Lao, and Kung Lao is like dead set on his, we got to get...
I'm going to go kill Shang Tsung.
We got to find Shang Tsung. We got to kill him. He's killing people. People keep finding bodies out in the forest. He just got back from trying to track Shang Tsung and like found more dead people. There's like been 3 or 4 at this point, and he's like, we got to go find them and stop them. I've got this map of where they were all killed. Let's go check out the area. And Raiden pops in and he's like, hey, hold on there, bro. I don't think you guys can take him. He's a powerful sorcerer. And Kung Lao, you can't fight him yet because of Mortal Kombat, right? And Kung Lao's like, well, I don't know. Like, he doesn't represent the Emperor anymore. So technically, I think I can. And Raiden just straight up says like,
I don't know. I have to check. I have to go get the rule book.
This is complicated. Kung Lao's like, all right, fuck it. While you're checking on that, I'm going to go kill him and we'll see if it all works out in the end,
Yeah, I kind of like what's going on with the Raiden stuff, if I have to give this episode anything.
Yeah.
They're continuing to get the tone right with Raiden in a way that's not annoying.
So now Quan Chi's talking to Shao Kahn again, and he's just kind of like hyping him up about the fact that there's traitors everywhere because he's really trying to get on Shao Kahn's good side, right?
I won't traitor you.
Yeah, don't worry, Shao Kahn, I'm totally not going to traitor you. And Shao Kahn's
I work at Trader Joe's.
I'll help you find all the traitors and kill them. And Shao Kahn's like, yeah, that would rule, but can you first do the thing I asked you to do and get rid of Shang Tsung? And he's like, don't worry.
He's like, it's already happening.
It's already my girls are on it. And fuck yeah,
his fucking Powerpuff Girls.
His girls are on it. The Quan Chi players are.
Is that what we've been calling them? Is that what we went with?
No, we didn't go with anything.
Oh, I like that. I just thought I didn't remember that, but I was like, yeah, that's a fun. That's I feel like this. Okay, can I say something quick?
Yes.
I feel like this episode has sapped from my brain the ability to be good at podcasts.
You're doing fine. Don't worry.
That was not like a funny to you, I'm saying it and you cut it out bit, but I'm just being like, man, I have so little to say about this.
I don't know, man. We're in the forest now. and Shang Tsung.
I don't know, man. Fuck it. We're in the forest now, I guess.
Shang Tsung.
We're in his area. Who fucking cares?
Mika's in Shang Tsung's new area, and she's like, "Come out,
Hey,
motherfucker!"
I'm walking here.
And Shang Tsung shows himself, and Cien is there, so is there. The whole gang is there, and they are absolutely fucking Shang Tsung's shit up, right? They are just. I mean, it's a fight. We get a fight. We get a pretty good fight. Shang Tsung fights are always good, in my opinion. I don't think we've gotten enough of them. We're getting a lot of them now. And they still look good to me.
Yeah, this fight's all right. I have a big problem with the color grading again, if I may.
Sure. Yeah, they don't know how to shoot outside.
No, that's not even the problem. If they wanted to color grade it so everything looked golden in that sunlight, fine, whatever. But commit. You can't have random shots of the fight and all of you can't have all of Jamie Presley's insert shots not to be color graded.
Must be because of her hair.
No, because it's also happening later for one of the commercial bumpers from when Zero is in prison and they get out and they're fighting. In the scene in the episode itself, it is color graded. The bumper of that fight is not color graded. And that looks better.
But Jamie Presley wasn't in that fight.
That's my point. So it's not about her hair because they're doing it to everything. And it's been episodes and episodes of this. And I don't understand why it's not consistent.
I was saying for her close-ups, they don't use the filter because of her hair.
But that's fucking insane.
They are intentionally choosing to use that filter to make everything look golden. Then they get to her close-ups and they're like, "Oh, we can't because she's just naturally golden and shiny." No. Is that weird for me to say on a podcast?
I don't even think I fully understand what your joke is.
I don't think I do either.
I don't think that's the reason. Okay. You know how the rule of improv is yes and?
Yeah, you.
What if I just said no?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. A throwaway line 10 minutes ago. No. This.
What's happening?
Let's count to 10 and continue. I liked this fight. There was some cool shit with like Shang Tsung. Dude.
Sorry, I thought you said this already.
No, there's some cool shit with like Shang Tsung like kicking off a tree to like jump over and kick people in the face and stuff. It was pretty good, but dude gets his ass kicked, right? And so
he starts gradually. It goes for a while.
It does. But he's down. I think Cien like backflip kicks him and he goes down and then like he knows he's fucked, so he pulls out the fireballs and starts throwing fireballs poorly at the ladies.
Yeah, just recklessly.
Yeah, and they all fucking run off, right? Like, that's enough for them to, like, give up on the fight. They're like, oh, shit, fireballs are one weakness.
Jamie Presley got, like, flip kicked in the ribs.
That's
really
true.
Hard.
You're right. She did get injured. She did go down in the fight, and that's going to be important for the next scene.
The next terrible scene.
When Quan Chi opens the scene by moaning in that classic Adani way.
It's more of a growl, in my opinion.
I think he only moans.
Literally, my response is, well, that disappointed growl is a lot.
Yeah. In any case, it was certainly a lot.
He's super moody, and then when they come back and didn't win, he just goes on some real, like, gaslighting abuser behavior.
Totally. They're like, oh, sorry, we didn't win. Mika got hurt. And he's like, Mika's dead. You're all dead. And Mika's like, well, that doesn't mean I can't still get hurt.
And he's like, you're all useless. Fuck you. Why did I even make you? What if I just killed everybody here?
Right.
Also, what if we had sex first?
And then Mika's like, hold on, no. You still need us, right? Because you like to fuck us.
Which is bad. Because then she just sort of says that about all of them generally. So they're in such a bad, abusive situation that the solution is, what if I just offered us all for sex so he doesn't kill us because he's mad?
Filthy bad Quan Chi, bad man. Do not like. And he's like, that's right. You know what? I think it's time for a new plan. And then he like green skull magics Mika.
Still don't know what that was supposed to tell me. I don't know what that did at all.
I don't understand it either because
they didn't have Zero and Taja yet.
Right.
We don't even see that happen.
No.
So that was not, hey, you look like Taja now. Did it make her not feel pain anymore so she was better at fighting? I don't know.
Maybe it was some kind of like twisted healing magic or some shit, but I genuinely don't know either.
The skulls look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool effect, and I think that was the intent of the scene, was like, we need another cool effect.
We have green skulls.
They really are amping it up, like with all the fire, like even like
They saved the effects budget for the end.
like since the Master, we saw a lot of fireballs in that. We're seeing more Quan Chi green magic. We see a lot of shit in this episode. They really did. They like must have found some money or something. You know,
It was under Steve Hatman's big hat.
yes. Sean Catherine Derrick sold her house so that she could,
She lives on set now.
so that she could pump the money into the budget.
She actually reboot style lives inside the Defenders of the Realm cartoon.
She was like, you know what? I pulled a Jay Leno and I didn't spend any. I never touched my Defenders of the Realm money.
I'm gonna go live
But I'm
in
gonna
the data
dip into.
I'm gonna go live in the data space. You
I'm
guys
gonna-
hang out here.
We're doing two different bits. My bit is that she finally decided to spend some of that Defenders of the Realm cash and invest it into this show. Right at the
Mine
end.
is that she sold her house and had to go live in a reboot style data space. And somehow money came from that.
Maybe she just got like in early on mining cryptocurrency while she was in there. Sean Catherine Derrick is an altcoin billionaire at this point.
I think that we should come up with a blockchain, whatever that is powered by Kung Lao's murderous rage.
Or a blockchain that you mine by listening to podcasts.
Our podcast.
Just ours, yeah.
That's it. Does anybody want Quest coin?
MK Podcoin.
Is
That's
that too
actually
long?
not bad. Our symbol could be MKP on the trading apps. Let's not do this.
I mean, we have a symbol that's a circle already.
Yeah, that'll be the coin. You know they're not actually.
NC is just Neil coin.
You know they're not literal coins, right?
No, they are. How else
can't-
why else would they call them that?
You can't like put them in your pocket.
No, it's like you ever go to a Chuck E. Cheese? So here's how I got
Nope.
all of my Bitcoin.
Those are tokens.
No, you tell me if this sounds wrong.
Okay,
There's a big machine there,
sure.
and you have tokens with you already.
Uh-huh.
Those are not the Bitcoin.
Okay.
But there's a thing, and it's full of big, shiny golden coins.
Okay.
And it's got these pushers on it, you know?
And you put
And you put one of your coins in, and then you pushes a bunch of stuff towards you, and you get a big cup at the end, and you fill it with Bitcoin.
Yep, that's what Bitcoin is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the reason that Elon Musk made the Dogecoin go so high was he has the world's biggest cup.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly it.
He went to the world's biggest Chuck E. Cheese.
Totally.
And damn it. I almost made it to the end of that bit without laughing, but you kind of laughed and then I ruined it.
We still got something good out of there. We still got to use it.
The pause before you decided if we had anything good.
We still got a good chunk out of that. Don't worry about it. We're good.
This episode is just completely destroyed our ability to podcast.
All right, I know where we're at. I can get us back on topic. All right, hold on.
Seems fucked up that they're giving Bitcoin to children, but whatever.
There we go. Good tag. So the combat crew is now out, and they're looking for Shang Tsung. And man, Kung Lao is
Actually, they're the Bitcoin crew.
still angry from the last episode, right?
Yeah, he's heated.
They split up, or he sends Zero and Taja off one direction, he goes the other. I didn't really follow that. So Zero and Taja are out in the forest together, and they smell something burning. And astute
It's the
viewers-
white hot passion of love. Happy Valentine's Day.
And it's from Shang Tsung's fireballs, right? So they go check out the area, and like that was Shang Tsung's camp, right? And they're checking it out. They're like, Shang Tsung was here. He's not here anymore. He was fighting somebody. Might have been Kriya people. We don't really know. And then Taja steps on a rock, which makes this Ewok-style log swing down from the trees and almost fucking kill her. I think it's got spikes on it too, right?
It does. Yeah, that's correct.
And Zero tackles her out of the way, and then like they're okay, and they're like, oh shit, he booby trapped this place. But this is where we get like the awkward, they're like giving each other the eyes thing, right? Which
but in like a nice way. It's not. This part's not weird.
I definitely picked up on like this is getting a little weird, and like I don't think it doesn't make sense for the characters, but the writers were like,
but it happened in an earlier scene, so now it's allowed to make sense. But what I mean by this isn't weird is comparatively, this
Right.
is fine.
No, yeah.
This is what sometimes happens when two hot people end up on top of each other by accident.
sure, we've all been there.
Completely understandable. Who
Yeah.
among us
Yeah,
hasn't tackled your hot friend out of the way of an Ewok trap
2 or 3 times a week it happens.
and wondered just once in the back of your mind, what if? I wonder how much Bitcoin they have.
Now, if I had been tackled by either one of them, I'd certainly be thinking it.
Daniel Bernhardt, show me all of your Bitcoin. I don't know why Bitcoin has become the running joke, and I'm going to stop now because it's run out of comedy juice.
Yeah, I don't know how much Bitcoin shit's staying in, so
I think all of the Chuck E. Cheese bit should stay in,
most of it's definitely staying in.
and then the rest of it can probably go.
So they just kind of get up and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, we should head back and tell Kung Lao what's going on, right?" So we catch up with Kung Lao, and he has found the dead horseman from the beginning of the episode, and Raiden is there, and we get a little bit of just exposition, right? Raiden's like trying to get Kung Lao to chill out still, and Kung Lao's like, "No, all these people are dying. It's my fault because I didn't kill Shang Tsung when I had the chance." And Raiden's like, "Bro, you're obsessed. You and Shang Tsung just need to fuck already and get it over with," right? That's what I heard, anyway.
Okay.
No, no. Raiden's like, dude, you're obsessed. You're acting like Shang Tsung. You're both obsessed with getting revenge on each other, and it's bad for you. I don't want to see you like go down that path, right? And Kung Lao's defense is, I want to kill him because he's out here in Earthrealm killing people, and yes, I feel responsible, but also I want him to stop being around here killing people. And I gotta say, that argument makes sense to me. Like, what exactly is Raiden's issue with that?
Raiden's issue is there are rules.
Sure.
That's all he cares about is the fact that rules exist. And he doesn't want Kung Lao to get fucked over by the rules and
Or
ultimately his
corrupted.
own hubris if he fucks up because he's angry. So yeah, the concern is that.
Sure. I guess it makes sense, but he seems to make it more about like,
He's being a bit pedantic about it, I think.
yeah, he is.
In that he's like, no, you're just becoming like Shang Tsung, which I don't think is
It's
fair
not.
or correct.
It's not. Exactly.
I don't know why he feels that way about that. It seems like a weird logic leap to make, to say, you wanting innocent people to not die by killing the guy you already had a chance to kill but didn't is the same as the rise of Darth Vader. These are the same to me.
Sure, yeah. Hey, you guys like Star Wars?
Raiden has only seen the Clone Wars TV show.
He hasn't even seen the Clone Wars. He's just seen the Jendi Tartakovsky Clone Wars shorts.
The thing that's like 25 minutes long.
Yeah, that's all Raiden's seen. He's just a big Jendi Tartakovsky fan.
He saw that, and he saw the theatrical film Clone Wars and not the TV show. Saw that in the theaters, baby.
So anyway, Kung Lao kind of marches off from that, right? He's like, no, I don't want him. I don't want Shang Tsung killing people. And I want to get him. I want to stop him before he murders more people. I got to say, I'm on Kung Lao's side with this. Raiden's being a real fuckboy.
I just don't get what Raiden's fear is. Like, is Kung Lao
Yeah.
going to get a fucking bloodlust? Like, Shang Tsung is a pretty objectively bad dude, and I don't condone murder most of the time, but this is fiction.
And if Raiden's fear is like, oh, he's gonna turn evil and he's gonna side, I don't believe for a second.
He already had the opportunity to do that at Mortal Kombat when he could have murdered a man,
Yeah,
and he didn't do that. If he wasn't going to kill a guy when it was like sanctioned by God,
sure.
then like,
Encouraged even.
yeah, it's the whole point of the bit is, hey, you should you should kill this guy.
We said finish him, and you didn't. It's right there in the announcer voice. Whatever.
It's right there in the announcement. There's a big PA in the cave, and it says finish him.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, so we cut back to the trading post, and Kung Lao is looking at his D&D map again, putting, tokens on it to mark
They're
out
like
locations.
like glass
Yeah.
ovals. Like,
Sure. What we used to use back in the day to put like poison counters and shit on Magic the Gathering cards during a game.
sure.
And Zero and Taja walk in, or do they? Guys, they don't.
They do.
It's not
Physically,
them,
they
though.
do.
It's not them, though. It's not even.
Well, but it's the actors.
It's not even. Yeah, it's the actors. It's
So
not
physically,
even. It's not even physically Zero and Taja. It's copies, right? Zero and Taja
the vibe's all wrong.
are.
They didn't get the vibe right.
No, they didn't. They're okay. So, all right, we're gonna fucking blow through this because fuck it. But I got some things to say
because we don't want to talk about it.
But here's the thing. So it's Quan Chi and it's Mika, and they're undercover, and they're shapeshifted into Zero and Taja, and they can't stop looking at each other. And Kung Lao's like, "What the fuck is going on with you guys?" And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go upstairs and
We're gonna go fuck. Don't follow us.
yeah, basically. Well, like Zero stays behind, quote unquote. Zero stays behind for a minute, but then he just can't get out of there fast enough, right? And yeah, they are just horny for each other the entire time. The horny alarm is going off like crazy through this whole scene.
Horny.
I don't really want to talk about it.
I don't
But-
want to talk about it, and I can tell you why.
Sure.
Let me tell you why you don't want to talk about it, because I think the reason's the same.
Sure.
So in an attempt to communicate to the audience that this is in fact Taja and Zero, no, it's not. The fact that this is Quan Chi.
Holy shit. The ruse
The fact
worked.
that this is Quan Chi and
Mika.
whichever one she is, Mika. They have Kristanna Loken and Daniel Bernhardt do a lot of like touching and sniffing, but mainly these voices that they're doing. I actually at a certain point muted those episode scenes and turned the subtitles on because I didn't want to hear it anymore.
Smart.
It's
a lot.
I don't even know. It's just bad. It's like really aggressively baby talk horny.
It's Daniel Bernhardt and Kristanna Loken trying to sound the way that
Aggressively sexual.
but the way that these two fictional characters Mika and Quan Chi would be trying to sound sexy
Like
without
them.
giving themselves away. And that's my
And
whole,
also like other people.
and that's my whole issue with this is that they're like, okay, we're going to infiltrate Kung Lao's crew and we're going to pretend to be his friends, but then we're not going to act like his friends at all.
I don't get it.
We're
What's
going to
the
do
plan?
shit that his friends don't do. Like, they're bad.
They try to imply later that they're trying to like psych him out, but like to what end?
I'm gonna
They're just
say-
waiting for Shang Tsung to get there. Just be cool for once.
They can't. And this is my note, and I'm proud of this note. They are bad at undercover because they got under the covers. Thank you.
You ever see that commercial where a bunch of guys, old men, slowly stand up when they clap? Whatever that is. Picture that. That is all. Anyway, I just really don't like it. I don't know. I don't need a nuanced, thoughtful analysis of every single thing I don't like. I just don't
Sure.
fucking like it. It's that simple.
Anyway, short version.
It makes me uncomfortable and I don't like it.
They ditch Kung Lao to go upstairs and fuck in bodies that aren't their bodies, but it's not actually Zero and Taja's bodies. It's copies of them. It's all very confusing and gross.
And
Kung
also,
Lao,
why?
because they just can't shut it off, man. They're teenagers. They're horny,
Imagine
horny
being
teenagers.
imagine being terminally horny, like
That's
horny
that
to
is.
death.
Horny.
Yeah.
Horny.
Yeah,
Horny.
some may say I don't have to imagine it.
Some may say that.
Anyway, the next morning, Kung Lao pulls a Taja and comes in on them in bed together, and he is just like shocked, right? And poor
He
guy,
is shook hard.
he just thinks he saw his secret lover in bed with Taja.
Fuck off.
That would really fuck you up. And he's heartbroken, right? He's totally thrown by it. He goes downstairs, and he's trying to get them to come down and plan the attack. And
They could not be listening less.
no, oh, this is where we get the reveal that it's actually Quan Chi and Mika. They turned back into
If
their
you hadn't
normal
already
selves.
fucking figured it out.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, now we go to Quan Chi's fortress with the big giant yin yang on the outside, and it rules. And we see that actual Zero and Taja are chained up in his dungeon, right?
Somehow, for some reason.
And Cian and Sora come in to give us the exposition that they captured them in the forest. They jumped them and captured them. And Zero and Taja are like, Kung Lao's going to come for us. And they're like, no, he's not. He thinks you're there already, right? So like they tip him off, you know. They don't put it together in their heads because whatever. Who cares?
Because why would you assume everybody can shapeshift?
Oh God, you know we skipped. I have to just point this out. This was the dumbest thing
Do
ever.
we have to? Whatever
Yes.
you're about to say.
When he was looking at the map with them the previous night, and he's like, "This is the location or where all the people were killed. I can't figure out the pattern." Fake Zero and Taja were like, "We can figure it out. We found his camp, and it's right here, and it's just right in the middle of all
Big
of like
circle, idiot.
the big fucking circle of dead people." And they're like, "Oh, of course.
He's killing in his area around his camp.
There's a central location to this circle of deaths." Like, no fucking shit. You are a terrible detective, Kung Lao. Bad detective.
He's no Columbo.
Anyway, now his plan. I guess they also noticed that there was one death outside of that, and they deducted from that he must be moving closer to the city. So, anyway, Kung Lao's ready to go bust some heads, and Fake Zero is like, "No, let's just stay here. He's coming here anyway, right? He's coming here to kill you. So let's just like hang out on our own turf." And Kung Lao's like, "Well, but he's just going to kill a bunch of people on his way."
And they're like, who gives a shit, Kung Lao? Get fucked.
Fake Zero is like, "I'm going to go out and patrol the city. Fake Taja, you stay here." And he leaves, and Kung Lao is talking to Fake Taj, and he's like, "How long have you guys been sleeping together?" And Fake Taj is like, a while.
All the time.
It's none of your fucking business. I'm going back upstairs."
What, you haven't heard us doing all that other fucking we were doing?
Gross. We're checking back in with Zero and Taja in the dungeon. Cian is just sitting there cleaning a skull, and somehow I guess Zero figured out that he can get his hands free, or he got like one of his hands free from his cuffs, and he's like, "Hey, let's bait her and get her over here."
I didn't think either of his hands were free yet.
Well, because like he somehow, I didn't really follow it. Maybe
I don't know what happened. Who cares?
Basically, my note says that Taja, in order to bait Cian to get over to her, starts corpse shaming her.
Being racist?
Calls her a zombie watchdog, and
Which I liked, actually.
a bunch of shit like that. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill you motherfuckers." And Taja's like, "Oh, you can't kill us, right? You said that you need us alive because Quan Chi needs our energy."
Once again, someone on this show with a very specific job is easily baited.
Sure. Every episode, I think, has to have somebody get easily baited.
Yeah, they're batting 1,000.
So Cian's like, "Oh yeah, I can't kill you, but I can beat the shit out of you." And she comes over, and I rewound this scene because it looks like she actually takes a swing and punches Taja right in the face before Zero gets his hands free and like grabs her. So Taja like took a hit from this. Zero's shitty plan was to get Taja punched in the face so he could escape.
I thought we were about to do a scene where it's just like, I have a note right before she finally gets to fight that says, "Just let Taja fight, you fucking cowards. Oh my God, fuck off. I hate this show." Because she gets the shit kicked out of her at the start of this fight.
She really does. Cian swings at Taja. Zero gets his arms free and like wraps around her, gets the key away, and Taja's able to like free herself. Somehow it was very, kinetic, and I wasn't able to totally follow it, but I think that's what happened. Then Cian just proceeds to beat the ever-loving fuck out of Taja. It was insane. Like, it was a beating like we haven't seen on this show, and I really, really hated it.
I didn't like it.
No.
It was like she was trying to murder her.
It was.
In a way that the other fights don't feel.
Yeah,
like
it was
she
vicious.
smashes her head into a rock.
Yeah. And, like, I guess I guess Zero had gotten, like, knocked out, so he was down for a little bit while this was going on, and he rallies, and then we get a pretty cool Zero fight against Cian for a while.
And then Taja finally gets to do some shit.
And then Taja rallies, and she does, like, a sweet cartwheel kick that I really dug. Zero did, like, this cool, like, almost handstand kick thing that you see, like, the dance crews do on TV.
Sure.
Yeah, we're going to leave that in. Old man Neil fucking referencing America's Best Dance Crew.
Look, we all watched it. I was there. We all know what that S you do with your fingers means.
And
we all know what a white mask means.
It means
and
you're,
other dance crews.
Who were they?
The Jabberwockies?
Yeah. Yeah, Zero pulls a Jabberwocky. And
Can we say that?
yeah,
I feel like that word definitely means something for real outside of their name.
yeah, it's
I don't know.
The Jabberwocky from Alice in Wonderland. I think.
Yeah,
I don't,
but does that have like connotations?
Too lazy to look it up. I'm just. Gonna
I am
edit
actively
it out.
looking it up.
Okay.
So far it seems like we might be okay. Seems like we might be okay. Might be fine. Apparently it's considered one of the greatest nonsense poems written in English.
There we go. Just like this show. I think it's staying in.
One of the greatest nonsense poems ever written in English is Mortal Kombat Conquest.
So, yeah, the fight ends.
It's like poetry, it rhymes, says George Lucas.
So once Taja rallies and it's 2-on-1, they're able to win the fight, and Taja breaks Cian's neck. Holy shit.
Yeah, my
Hell
note
yeah.
says, oh my god, Taja, holy fuck, you're bad as hell for that.
Hell yeah, Taja. She killed a reptile man last week. She broke Cian's neck this week.
The only one who gets to do any murder is Taja, but it's always justified.
Yeah, but they have this little exchange. They're like, she was already dead. Can you kill a dead person? And they're like, oh, let's not hang out here and find out. And they book it out of there. Right. Now we get the wildest fucking scene I've ever seen on this TV show, where we think that, I'm just going to summarize this. We think that Sora has gone to Shao Kahn
This
as
is
an
so
offering,
fucking stupid. Fuck this scene.
as an offering from Quan Chi for his loyalty, which is basically, Quan Chi sent me here to fuck you. And Shao Kahn's like, yeah, I'm familiar with his gifts.
With a knife.
I'll take you. And then Sora pulls out a knife and she's like, die, motherfucker. And he's like, you think I wouldn't see through this ruse? I knew you were going to try to kill me. And he gets the knife and he holds it to her neck.
People who want to have sex with me try to kill me all the time. I'm Emperor of Outworld. Meh.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. I know what happens on Tuesdays. And then he calls the cards and he demands that Sora reveal themselves. And then it turns out Sora was actually Quan Chi. And he's like, why would you do this to me, Quan Chi? And Quan Chi is like, Kriya's offer was better.
Kriya paid me more than infinite money.
Yeah, she paid me infinite money and also not to have to deal with you. I think that was probably what would be the hypothetical better deal. And
Actually, but what if?
and Shao Kahn's like, "Oh, that's it. You're boned now, motherfucker. Take him to the cobalt mines." They take him to the cobalt mines. He's acting all weak because we know magic is sapped there, and some guy comes up to fuck with them, and then he just kills that person and takes their soul, and it turns out it wasn't actually Quan Chi, it was Shang Tsung.
For reasons. One of which is obvious, which is just to confuse everybody and make people think, hey, he betrayed me. Why everybody betray me? Like The Room?
Right. Yeah, exactly like The Room, actually.
He literally basically says, why everybody betray me. But then he just says, okay, actually, I got some other shit to go do. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, we do know that, like, we do know that Shang Tsung can enter and exit the cobalt mines as much as he wants, especially if his, like, magic is good. And he's been spending all this time getting his magic hyped up.
His magic is good.
Yeah. As long as he's eaten enough souls, he can get out of there, you know? So that's what he does. He did this whole thing just to make Quan Chi look bad to Shao Kahn. And now he's got some other business to attend to. Turns out he's attending to the same business he was attending to.
Yeah, there's only so much business in Mortal Kombat Conquest. A couple different people are trying to kill or usurp a few other people.
Totally. Yeah, that's basically every episode. I did like this next bit where fake Taja at the trading post answers the door and there's a messenger there. And the messenger is played by Dean Kulau. Welcome to the Neil Nook.
Addendum!
Who has one credit and one credit only, and it is Messenger in the episode Flawed Victory of Mortal Kombat Conquest. Shout out to Dean Kulau. Come on the show.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate get, because you have to be like, yo, do you even remember really what that was like?
And he's like, I have a message for Kung Lao. And Taja's like, fake Taja is like, give me the message. And he's like, no, I have to only give it to Kung Lao. And she's like, give me the fucking message. And Kung Lao comes in and he's like, oh, that's me. I'm here. Thank you. And he reads the note, the message, and he throws it away. And fake Taja's like, what's the message? And he's like, oh, my new boots I ordered from a merchant are ready. I'll go pick them up tomorrow. I'm tired. And first of all, I was like, hell yeah, new boots alert. Second of all,
finally a costume change for Kung Lao.
Yeah. Well, you know me and boots. We talked for 20 minutes about boots last episode, and I cut most of it out.
They're made for walking, I've been told.
And he throws the note away. She picks it up and reads it, and it is, in fact, a note about new boots. And Kung Lao has gone upstairs. And then fake Quan Chi, or real Quan Chi, fake Zero comes back. And he's like, where's Kung Lao? And she's like, he went upstairs. He got this message. And Quan Chi is like, just says new boots on it. And meanwhile, we see Kung Lao sneaking out of the trading post up top, right? And he's headed to Zhuzhen Applebee's, where real Zero and Taja are waiting for him. And Raiden pops up, and he's like, how can you guys be here? I just saw you back at the trading post. Come on, Kung Lao. You know better than this. You know those weren't real Zero and Taja. For starters, they're fucking, right? And second of all, they don't talk or act like Zero and Taja. Like, get your shit together. But I like the note trick when Taja was like, yeah, I sent 2 messages. One said to meet us here and then read the other message and throw it away. Like, I like the decoy message trick. That was pretty cool. What I didn't like is that she signed the notes with Raiden's name because she wanted to make sure he would pay attention to them. It's just it's just another example of Taja being the smartest person on this show and not even getting the credit for it immediately. I don't know. Just bugged me.
I mean, I think everybody in that scene was like, yeah, good idea.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fuck it.
Okay. They do a lot of that already. I don't know if we need to add to the pile, but I mean.
So now the crew is at Zhuzhen Applebee's with Raiden, and they're all kind of catching up on everything. And Kung Lao finds out, oh, that's not Zero and Taja. That's Quan Chi and one of his ladies. And they're doing this because they're trying to get Shang Tsung. And they all just decide to, kick back. Raiden's like,
let them fight. You ever see Godzilla versus the Big Monkey?
Let them fight.
It's fine. See, I didn't want to do the guy's voice because that felt weird.
Let them fight. Anyway, that's... Raiden's like, let them fight. Come on, we're at Applebee's. It's happy hour. Let's just kick back and let the dust settle, right?
R.I.P. the trading post. They'll probably destroy it, but whatever.
No, Raiden was like, don't worry, the trading post will be fine. It's our main set for this show. It's going to survive. And then, yeah, it just fucking happens, right?
With a very little fanfare.
Shang Tsung shows up at the trading post, throws a fireball at fake Taja, takes her out of the fight. Mika's down. Now it's just Shang Tsung.
No matter who Taja is or whoever looks like Taja, she will not be allowed to do anything.
Except pass notes.
Postmates.
And then, yeah.
Like a post-it note.
It's a Shang Tsung versus Quan Chi fight, and it's pretty fucking good. There was some pretty cool shit in this. Like, they really kind of leaned into the theatrics, right? There was one part where mostly Quan Chi does cool shit in this fight, right? I know Shang Tsung started off by throwing a fireball, but then Quan Chi does this thing where he, gets pushed against the wall, but he sort of catches and Supermans off of it into Shang Tsung. That was pretty dope. They replayed that in one of the bumpers.
Yeah, there was some cool stuff in there, but, I feel like I've barely retained any of that fight because it's very inconsequential.
It was good. The choreography was good. There were a couple tricks I want to highlight. Like, at one point, Quan Chi picks up like a red scarf or something from the plaza,
and it turns into a big sword thing.
Turns it into like a bladed staff and starts swinging it at Shang Tsung. And at some point, Shang Tsung gets the staff, the bladed weapon, away from him, and Quan Chi then just turns it into a snake. And then Shang Tsung's like, "Oh, a snake!" and he gets rid of it.
He hates those. It's like Indiana Jones.
I fucking loved it. It was some clever shit, and I like when we get to see cool magic shit happen. And Shang Tsung's gonna lose this fight, right? Like, Quan Chi's got him on the ropes. He hits him, I think, with some green magic, with some green skulls. or he's like charging up like a big green skull and he's about to finish him off.
The biggest, greenest skull.
The biggest, greenest skull you ever did see. And Shang Tsung's like, if you kill me, like, you're going to lose anyway because you're not the only one here who can shapeshift. That's one thing we didn't touch on enough. Love to see some Shang Tsung shapeshifting. Classic Shang Tsung shit.
They're also they're introducing a concept into the show that had the show continued, the audience would be asking why everybody wasn't doing it all the time.
I think that's part of the reason he's been killing and sucking up so many souls is because he probably needs a lot of strength.
Right, but
to
Quan
be
Chi
able to do
can
that.
clearly just do it. You know?
But Quan Chi may have like mixed up a potion or some shit. I don't know.
Like again, yeah,
you're right. You're right.
If this show had continued, they would have had to come to grips with, oh no, we've introduced like a superpower.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you do kind of wonder why. I mean, the games and the movie, like they all use Shang Tsung's shape-shifting ability to to do all kinds of shit, like the opening to Deadly Alliance. He kills Liu Kang because he has shape-shifted into Kung Lao, I think. And
right.
That's how they're able to get the jump on Liu Kang. Like,
but one guy can do that.
It is fucking bonkers. And Quan Chi can shapeshift also because he shapeshifts into Bihan and kills Hanzo Hasashi's family, but it was actually Quan Chi the whole time.
Okay, sure.
That's like that's game canon. It's still
I'm not saying it's not canon. I'm just saying for a TV show, it's like if everybody can just shapeshift into everybody else.
It's a wild thing to introduce, especially late. Yeah, I get you. So Quan Chi, like hearing this, like, oh great, he fucking sold me out to the Emperor. Emperor thinks I betrayed him. He then just lets Shang Tsung kind of like fuck off through a portal. Never throws that green skull. Kind of a bummer.
I mean, this whole episode's a fucking bummer. I'm over it.
It is, because now we now get a scene where Kung Lao tells Zero and Taja that Quan Chi and Mika pose as them. And
I watched
upstairs.
You fuck in your own bed.
I saw it. I saw the aftermath. I smelled it.
Mortal Kombat aftermath.
And Taja feels appropriately violated by this, and Zero is now apparently just kind of thinking about having sex with Taja. It's weird and uncomfortable, and I don't like it.
It is uncomfortable.
And then, Raiden pops in just to let him know that Shang Tsung survived and is back hiding out in the forest, and Quan Chi is out there somewhere. Shao Kahn is running through the Cobalt Mines looking for Quan Chi. He smashes a skull with his foot. His paranoid dial is turned up to 11.
Ah! I'm being betrayed.
Good stuff.
I don't know why he laughs like a witch.
That's
like a cartoon witch.
Your Shao Kahn impression is aces, dude.
Bulletproof.
Hell yeah.
It's me.
And then
Shaka Khan.
And then we've got a scene.
What does Shaka Khan sound like? Am I at least getting that one right, or are these both wrong?
Sure.
Okay.
And then we've got a short scene at the end at Camp Kriya where Vorpax is meeting with Quan Chi and all of his ladies, and Quan Chi is now siding with Kriya and her army. And Vorpax is like, you rejected our offer before. And Quan Chi's like, well, some shit has happened, and basically I have nowhere else to turn, so I am on your side now. And that's the end of the episode.
We survived. So I want to, just make a quick point.
Sure.
Dear listener, you know what? If it tickles your fancy, Neil, feel free to put this at the beginning. This episode broke us in mysterious and profound ways. If you heard the last hour or so of our lives, we went through a lot trying to get through this, and it's not just because our brains are bad. It's because the episode is just very, very strange and kind of off-putting in a way that's kind of not difficult to quantify, but it's not something I particularly want to spend a lot of time explaining. But I would just tell people, be aware if you're going to watch the show. This one's weird.
Were we just thrown off by, the hardcore horniness of it all? Well,
here's the thing. The show's got a lot of hardcore horniness, but
sure.
I think it's the body swap angle.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
Probably. And there is just a modicum of comfort in the fact that they weren't actually
Don't say
inhabiting.
Modicum.
There's a
you know
tiny
what that
bit
word
of,
ends with.
There's a tiny bit of comfort in the fact.
Don't say comfort either. Sorry.
I'm glad they didn't take their actual bodies
Just yeah, no, I'm glad this wasn't like a Freaky Friday.
Yeah. Like
That's way worse.
that made it slightly better because our beloved Ciro and Taja weren't actually physically involuntarily violated by Quan Chi and Mika. Because like body possession is already like
Interesting and ethical quandary.
yeah, and it's just
An ethical Quan Chi does not exist.
they avoided that mess, but I think that there's something cool. There could have been a really cool episode in this with people posing as other people and shape-shifting, and the double or triple like betrayal scene that Shang Tsung did for Quan Chi was interesting. Oh,
There's a version of this that is less magical and a little bit more clever that is probably more interesting.
Probably, but even with the magical aspect, I think there was something interesting and cool about this that just didn't play out all that great. And throwing in the unnecessary horniness like that, it immediately blew up the plan because it was like so clear to the audience. Oh, this is not Ciro and Taja, right? If the mystery, like as a viewer, if the mystery hadn't been so obvious, I think it would have been a cooler episode, you know?
Oh yeah, you know something is wrong in a way that you can probably figure out very, very, very quickly.
I would have
because
liked.
they are not even attempting to like relate to the characters as we would know them. Like,
right. So as a viewer, you've got you've solved it before the show has solved it for the characters, but you solved it right away, and then you
which
had
they
to
do very explicitly, like.
And then you just had to watch the people in the show like flounder about to try to catch up, and then it's just frustrating, right? Because everyone's behind the curve. Like everyone in the show is behind the curve. I don't know. It just
And also, it's gross.
It's all and also and
I almost want to compliment Daniel Bernhardt and Kristanna Loken for doing a good job doing what they were directed to do.
Yeah,
we can't take that away from them.
No, it
is tangibly different from what they're doing day in day out on the show.
Totally. Yeah, it was and it was interesting, and it would have been really cool to see had I not been so distracted by the forced sudden romantic interest or attraction, the forced sudden attraction that Ciro had for Taja that they tried to make us believe, only to then exploit it right away. Yeah, it was clumsy. Sorry, guys. It was a clumsy episode.
They're not all going to be winners.
But the good news is we're done talking about it.
We did it. And it's definitely the best podcast we've ever done.
Sure, totally. Not at all going to be a nightmare for me to edit.
We say that every week.
And they're not all nightmares.
I earnestly think this is no more a nightmare than any other episode we've ever done.
We've only gone an hour and 40 minutes.
This is so short. You know how much of this we already know isn't the episode? This episode is going to be like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually not going to be bad at all. So, anyway.
Because there was just less to love.
And with all that, gosh, what's a good transition? I think it's time. Hey, Corey.
It's appropriate. We talked about the sex episode on the sex day.
Yeah, we recorded
That's a joke for us.
Valentine's Day. Hey, Corey. Let's I think it's time for us to escape our battle with Quan Chi and go back to our forest area.
I think it's time to tackle each other away from a deadly trap.
Let's do it. But before we do
that was the tackling part.
Before we do that, before we retreat to our booby-trapped area.
You said trap.
Corey, what do you have to plug?
You know, I've got that Twitter and Letterboxd, Mr. Corey Price, and I've got that other podcast that I do with our friend Liam called They Made Another One. Movies and stuff. You can figure it out. They Made Another on Twitter. TMAO on Letterboxd. They Made Another One on all your podcast services. Trying to make this more concise than usual. Think I did okay.
Follow me on Twitter at Final Neil and on Instagram at Final Neil Retro. Follow the show on Twitter at MK Podquest, Instagram at MK Podquest, and check out our YouTube channel if you want to catch up on back episodes. Check out the what I mid-tweet decided should have been called all along, Ultimate MK Podquest on YouTube. It was right there in front of me the whole time. And the YouTube channel is finally current. So from here on out, I think starting with maybe last week's episode, definitely this week's episode. Episodes will be coming out on YouTube the day after the audio drops for the ultimate experience, where I put like screen grabs from the episodes in there with some fun graphics and a cool intro. So yeah, go check those out. Just link in the bio. Let's get out of here. I'm done.
We're done with this.
I hope the next one's better. I think it is.
Fingers crossed, man. Let's not even check. Fuck it.
I had totally forgotten this episode when you were asking me about it. I could not remember. And then when I saw the green magic swirling around Mika, I was like, oh fuck, it's this one. I had like blocked it out.
I don't blame you, man.
Yeah. So far, both of our Quan Chi, Shang Tsung like crossover episodes have ended up kind of disappointing.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I'm hitting stop.
I'm also hitting stop.